1 week without Zyn. I was a smoker since my teens, which turned to vaping later on. And then only within like last 9 months, no less than that. I would say 2 months, no 3 months on Zyn. Now I'm completely nicotine free. And if you want to quit Zyn, let me just tell it to you straight. You know that there is something I think a lot of people like to try and taper. They try to do these things, and what I'm telling you is, life is much better without them. Or you give yourself the possibility of a better life, if that makes sense. Like, okay. First off, sleep. You get way better sleep. You need sleep to recover. If you're gonna actually be a better person, like physically, mentally and stuff, you should consider sleep and rest being like such an important thing that doesn't get disrupted. I used to just like wake up like at least once a night when I was on them. And of course I was coming off from like smoking and stuff, and it made that transition pretty nice. You know, but that's something to think about. But I don't know. I know a lot of people in my life who swear that Zyn is good for you, right? Cope. Total cope. They're full of it. Just like a lot of... I can't think of a substance, though, that is more cope than anything than nicotine, right? Maybe the occasional cigar, but like I'm talking about like... I'm more speaking to like the quiet, desperate like Zyn user, which are actually way more common than people like to acknowledge. And it's like, it is kind of a little bit serious though, like people just shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. I've been reading a lot of people's stories on quitting Zyn online, which has kind of which have kind of hold on a second. I gotta delete this. I made a mean comment to somebody. Yeah, but people will try and say about like they're trying to cope like is nicotine bad for you? They're like, oh, I only take it sometimes, and like if that's you, I just don't think that you're being like really honest with yourself, because it's hard. It's not easy. People are telling me to quit things that they couldn't quit themselves. But I personally am seeing myself gonna have like a very a trajectory driven growth here coming up, which I'm pretty excited for. I might do some long runs this summer. I'm gonna look good this summer. If you be like, there's something about Zyn. How do you even say, like, okay, is it kind of sick to wake up in the morning and get a dopamine hit, like laying in bed on like a Saturday? Like, yeah, it is. But you gotta like reframe your brain a little bit. Stop being a little bitch about things. You know what I mean? Like when I see people use nicotine now, I'm like, you're a little bitch. You're not tough. You're fucking full of it. You need your little dopamine, And like they said like they'll cope about it, but like dude, there is not one athlete that I can think of that uses that kind of shit. Like they'll use caffeine and stuff like that for sure, but like people pop Zyns and they'll be like, yo, this is like I'm like Michael Phelps doing this shit. But yeah. I would stop if I was you. I don't know. There's way too much use of this kind of stuff. Like it is weird because like like I'll see like Sam Hyde using like a bunch of like nicotine and whatnot, and like Andrew Tate smoking cigars, and it's just like I don't think that's like really like the ideal message, that has to like at least like I'm trying to have a modicum of like both physical grit here and operational grit that having like cortisol spikes from that kind of stuff is just like it can't be part of my thing. Like to navigate my life right now, I cannot be having, be getting upset with somebody and then ripping a Zyn because like I want some happy feel good chemicals. Like I gotta be cold ass, hard ass bro about how I'm operating this stuff. And I'm not listening to fucking babies who use that shit. Um, you know, and we come so far to like really stay away from this kind of stuff and nicotine, and it's been reintroduced. It's just like a big fucking money grab, like Joe Rogan, smoking cigars and using nicotine, and like, he has to be getting some kind of kickback from that. And like I know people get like the separate kickbacks. It's just stuff to think about, you know what I mean? I don't know. Well, I would stop if I was you. Like, this is where I'm at. So it's like, what, January 27th. I'm a week free from nicotine. And I am 30 days free from alcohol. And I can absolutely see myself, like, being in the best shape of my whole entire life this summer. Because I'm making these hard choices right now. So, I mean, think about it. Subscribe if you feel like it. But the other thing that's so weird about life right now for me is I've definitely come to terms that like no one gives a shit if I do anything good for myself. You should think about that too for yourself. Like you got to find that inner strength to just do stuff, not because people like think you should or whatever, but because it is the thing to do. Because like. So say you make $10,000 extra in a month or whatever. Like, just keep it to yourself. Like, the people they don't want anything good for you. It's so fucked up. Fucking everyone's fucking obese unless they're on Ozempic, right? Everyone's ripping Zyns, right? Everyone smokes weed apparently. Everyone smokes weed. It's fucking weird, right? But yeah, you just gotta dig deep. You just have to do what you have to do because fuck these people, dude. I fucking don't like people very much right now. I don't like people very much because like I feel like I just don't fucking like them that much. I just don't think people have a lot of will left in them to do things. I've changed my channel name a lot of times, but Rich SBX is like. It's the vibe. The vibe is just being better, right? Like, old styles aren't working out, Let the boomers have their fucking nicotine and weed and booze and shit. Fucking fake-ass people. That's what they are. All fake-ass people, bro. And it's time it's just like, millionaires, like, with fucking nicotine habits and alcohol habits. Like, it's just not the story that's going on here, Or like relating to younger kids that are like trying to have like fun and like try things.